Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be studying about how is federalism practiced in India. The real success of federalism in India is attributed to its nature of democratic politics. Have a look at some of the major ways in which federalism is practiced in India. Linguistic estates. The creation of linguistic estates was the first and major test for democratic politics in India. From 1947 to 2017, many old estates have vanished and many new estates have been created. Areas, boundaries and names of the states have been changed. Some estates has been formed of the people who spoke the same language. These states are known as the linguistic states. Language policy. A second test for Indian Federation is the language policy. Hindi was identified as the official language. Besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the Constitution. States too have their own official languages, and government work can take place in the official language of the concerned state. Center-state relations. Restructuring the center-state relation is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. If no single party gets a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national parties can alliance with many parties, including several regional parties, to form a government at the center. This led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state governments. Now, we have already studied what is federalism, how federalism is practiced in India, and what importance does it hold, right? So, federalism, as you all know, is the sharing of power. Sharing of power in a democratic institution, in democratic politics. Also, federalism is said to be the very feature of the Indian democracy. Means power sharing, so that power is not misused by any one institution. So, on the basis of linguistic states, the states have been divided. On the basis of language, if we consider the language policy, though Hindi has been considered as the official language, and 21 other languages are also recognized by the institution. But still, states have their own languages, and states can carry their official work in the language of the state. And if we talk about the center-state relations, in case there is no clear majority, right? If a party doesn't win by majority, then even, your constitution has allowed them to form alliance with the regional parties, right? Means regional parties, you can share your powers, you can share your responsibilities with the regional parties, and you can carry on your work of running the government, right? So this kind of thing can only happen if a country is run on the very concept of federalism. So today we'll have even a revision of whatever we have studied till date. We studied about federalism. Federalism means sharing of power. Federalism is a system of government, and also I can say it is the key concept of the Indian Constitution. Our Indian Constitution is based on this key concept of federalism. That is sharing of power among different levels of government so that things can be administered properly. So federalism is a system of government in which power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. A federation has two or more levels of government, and these levels of government enjoy their power independent of the other. One is the government for the entire country, that is usually responsible for a few subjects of common national interest. Now, these subjects of common national interest, which has been written here, we'll be discussing it in the later slide. Governments at the level of provinces or states that took after much of the day-to-day administering of their states. Even we'll be discussing about the state responsibilities. Now, difference between unitary system and federal system. Unitary system, there is only one level of government, or sub-units are subordinate to the central government. Means there is one level of government and other sub-units, they report to the central government. Means one head is there and rest of them are the subheads. The central government can pass on orders to the provincial or local government. Now, in unitary government, what happens? These levels of government which are there, these subordinates, they do not enjoy their separate powers. It is the command of the central government. They work on the command of the central government. Whereas if we talk about federal government, the different levels of government enjoy their powers separately, and none of the levels, they are answerable to the other level. Means different institutions at different levels and they enjoy their powers separately, and no one can raise question on each other's work. The central government is supreme and the administrative division exercise only powers that the central government has delegated to them. So if we talk about unitary government, the central government has all the powers. Though levels of government exist, subordinates are there, but they work only according to the guidelines of the central government. Now, federal government, there are two or more levels of government. The central government cannot order the state government to do something. A state government has its own power for which it is not answerable to the central government. Now, key features of federalism. There are two or more levels of government. Different tiers of government govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation, and administration.